The Bully beatdown boss, Arman Tsarukyan, is back in the media now, campaigning for a fight against Islam Makhachev, or if Islam Makhachev is still injured in December, he would like to fight. I think the fight's going to happen probably in December. Islam is still recovering from the hand injury. They wanted to get him on the Abu Dhabi card at UFC 308. That's not going to happen. It's likely going to take place at UFC 310 in December in Las Vegas at T-Mobile Arena. Here's what Arman has to say about that bullying incident and the video that he allegedly was coerced, essentially made to make by the Vegas State Athletic Commission for what he did when he stepped into the crowd, stood up for himself like a man, and punched a fan who was like, what, spitting in his face or something? Okay, whatever. It makes the sport fun. It's crazy. I don't really care. It is what it is. The guy probably deserved it. Maybe he didn't. Who knows? Doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't think these guys should really be bothered by the fans. I think Arman kind of showed that he was a little weak there, to be honest. But, whatever. So, shout out to Championship Rounds for covering this. They got a great Twitter page. Go check them out. Go give them a follow. Says here, Arman Tsarukyan says that he will no longer be releasing an anti-bullying PSA video. If his fight is scheduled for December, there's no point. The only reason he was going to put out this video, the anti-bullying message, the anti-bullying PSA, the anti-bullying promo, whatever it was supposed to be, the only reason he was going to do it was because he needed to fight in October in Abu Dhabi because he thought that's when the fight was going to be taking place. Now we know the fight's not going to be taking place then. Islam Makhachev is not fighting. It's going to be Ilia Topuria and Max Holloway, big-time matchup at UFC 308 in Abu Dhabi. Scrap the fight, moving it to a later date. Arman's like, fuck it, my suspension is going to be levied in the end of October anyway, so why not? Why do I need to release this? Why do I need to go through all this work, all this embarrassment, all this stupid shit? He still probably feels like he's in the right for punching the fan. Again, I don't know. What do you care what the fans are screaming at you, man? Really, like all of sports, dude. Like, they're not grabbing you. They're not touching you. Who cares? Who cares if they're yelling mean names at you? Get over yourself. You're a fucking fighter. You're making a lot of money because they pay to see you. Does that give them the right to treat you that way? Is it right that we, as fans, can say and do things however we want? Does that give us the right to do that? No, absolutely not. But it doesn't really fucking matter at the end of the day. Get over yourselves, fighters. Come on. Let's move on. Shout out to Arman. I like this kind of energy. Being a alpha giga Chad that he is. We're not going to put out bullying PSAs. Bullying happens to the weak. Because sometimes the weak need to be punished. At least that's what Arman probably thinks. Growing up where he grew up. Coming from where he comes from. Funny incident. Funny situation. Can't wait for this to get resolved at the end of the day. Move on. This will be a funny chapter in the history of MMA and the history of the UFC. Good stuff. UFC 300 was a banger event. This was one of those moments that kind of held it back. It was funny. The whole turmoil after the fact was just fantastic to watch play out. And now it looks like Arman going back on his word and is not going to be putting the PSA out. Very interesting. All right. Catch you in the next one.